rope ladder and into the bucking, rigid-hull inflatable boat that's tethered to the side of the Australian warship. With the frigate steaming at 14 knots in the open ocean, this is not a job for the faint-hearted. In a dangerous sea state 4, with a buffeting wind and 3-metre waves, the armed and fully kitted out members of HMAS Darwin's Red boarding team are dropping into a maelstrom. It is 11:25 a.m. on Saturday, the 21st of May, 2016, and we're in the Indian Ocean, several hundred kilometres to the east of Tanzania and north of Madagascar, hunting drug smugglers on the smack track. For one young woman, the conditions are just too severe, and she's quickly replaced. Upper body strength is vital under these extremes. Once the first group of boarders have made it safely into the RHIB, it is set free and speeds away towards a suspect fishing dhow that is wallowing about a kilometre away under the watchful eye of the guided missile frigate. Viewing the operation from the safety of Darwin's deck, it is clear that my wish to board a smuggling dhow is unlikely to be granted unless the sea calms down an awful lot. Sea State 4 is at the upper limit for a water-based boarding by the Royal Australian Navy. As the RHIB approaches, the suspect dhow rolls through an alarming-looking 40 degrees, and boarding officer Lieutenant James Hodgkinson deems it too risky to continue. Climbing down into the RHIB from a moving 4,000-ton warship is one thing for these skilled and athletic sailors, but scrambling up a rope and onto a 20-metre wooden dhow that is bucking around like an angry rodeo bull could be deadly. In addition, the team's radios have become waterlogged and communication with the ship is lost. Just before noon, they turn and speed back towards Darwin, but suddenly their radio crackles back to life, and the skipper, Commander Phil Henry, orders the team to have another go. The inflatable boat turns back to the dhow. This time, its captain is instructed via hand signals to turn his vessel down sea to make conditions a little easier for boarding. Transferring sailors to the dhow is all about timing. In such a high sea state, the two vessels are almost level at the top of each swell. The boarders can therefore avoid using the rope ladder, but must risk leaping directly from the RHIB onto the dhow. Once safely on board, their first job is to herd the crew forward into the forecastle area and to secure the vessel, while the RHIB returns to Darwin to collect the rest of the boarding party, along with the American NCIS agent Paul Lerzer and his interpreter to interview the captain and crew. Time is of the essence. It's soon clear that the skipper's story about why such a small coastal fishing boat is operating so far south of its home, on the Makran coast between Pakistan and Iran, and so far from land, is ridiculous. The vessel is not flying a valid flag. Her fishing nets have not even been deployed, and the paperwork contains some major inconsistencies. The authorities at headquarters in Bahrain authorise a search, and the arduous task of checking every square centimetre of the vessel begins. Just before 5 p.m, a member of the dhow's crew secretly lets on that there are drugs on board, stashed beneath the snow in the ice hold. Rather than go directly to the spot, give the game away and potentially endanger the informant's life, the team continues to chip away at the edge of the ice before moving to the centre of the hold, where they eventually find a suspect hatch hidden below the frozen sheet. Able seaman Eddie Thompsana, from Thursday Island in the Torres Strait, is used to living rough on small boats, but even he is shocked by the conditions on board the dhow. As he and his shipmate Pete Irvine get down and dirty, urgently searching the rancid fish hold, their only company are rats nesting deep in the boat's bilge. Even the cockroaches swarming in the galley area up top don't venture down into this dark, filthy, frozen world. The men use a crowbar to remove the hatch cover, and bingo, there's a stash of white bags underneath. Thompsana gets down on his belly and crawls into the stinking, rat-infested hiding place. At first he pulls out 5, then another 7, and finally dozens of bags, containing an incredible 512 kilograms of heroin.